Reproductive phase of life in humans. It occurs in the adolescence. When the adolescents become capable of reproduction, when they reach the age of puberty, when their testes and the ovaries begin to produce gametes, and we know that the testes produce the sperm and the ovaries produce the ovum. The capacity for maturation and production of gamete lasts for much longer time in males than in females. This means that the male have got the ability of producing reproductive cells for a longer time in their life, and females have a fixed lifespan. In female, the reproductive cycle, that is the ability of being able to produce ovum in the girls and the ladies, starts from the age of puberty, 10 to 12 years, and mostly it continues till the age of 45 years up to 50 years. Till the age of 45 to 50, the body of the female produces one ovum every day. The ova begins to mature with the onset of puberty, and one ovum is produced from the body, from the ovary of the female every month. Now it continues every month, and then this ovum matures and is released by one of the ovary once in 28 to 30 days. Now if we just calculate it, if one ovum is produced once in 28 days, that means one in 1 month, then in 1 year 12 eggs are produced in the body of a female for 1 year. That means the reproductive ability of a girl is from 10 to 12 years. Let's say the age from where the girl attains puberty is 12 years, and from 12 years till the age of 45 to 50 years. So you can calculate for how many years the eggs are produced in the body of the female. If we calculate, it comes out to around 30 to 35 years. That means for 35 years the girl or the females have the ability to produce an egg. If we multiply 35 with 12, we can calculate that how many times the egg is produced in the body of the female. This is the reproductive ability and the reproductive phase of life. What happens during the reproductive cycle in a female? During this period, the wall of the uterus becomes thick so as to receive the egg from the ovary. Now you read in the female reproductive system, the egg is produced in the ovary. From the ovary, the egg moves through the fallopian tube or the oviduct, and from the oviduct it reaches the uterus where the baby develops. Now here we are reading that what happens when the egg is produced. The egg from the ovary moves towards the fallopian tube. The wall of the uterus prepares to receive the egg. Now suppose the egg is fertilized in the fallopian tube, then the fertilized egg will reach the uterus. In case it is fertilized and begins to develop, the egg which is fertilized forms the zygote, and the zygote reaches the uterus, and then the baby develops. That results in pregnancy. If there is no fertilization in the oviduct, then what happens to the egg? The egg from the fallopian tube or the oviduct starts moving, and it moves towards the ovary. The thick lining of the uterus along with the blood vessels are shed off. Now what happens? The uterus is preparing the body of the girl to receive the egg. This happens once a month. At the start of this, the egg moves towards the fallopian tube to the uterus. The uterus prepares, it starts receiving the blood vessels. Now if the egg is fertilized, then the baby will be formed. If there is no fertilization, then the lining of the uterus will be removed from the body of the female. This causes bleeding in the girls, which is called menstruation. Menstruation occurs once in 28 to 30 days. This happens after that. When all the blood vessels from the uterus are removed, then the bleeding stops. The first menstrual flow begins in the girls at the age of puberty, and it is called the menarche. Now this is symbolizing that the girls have got their ovary and the uterus are preparing the body for fertilization. If fertilization will take place, then a child will be born. If fertilization will not take place, then this menstruation will continue, and this occurs once in a month. Again in the next month the same process will start. After 1 month the uterus prepares the body of the female for fertilization. If fertilization does not take place, then the egg which is released from the ovary is removed and the lining of the blood vessels are removed. At 45 to 50 years, when the girls or females reach the age of 45 to 50, the menstrual cycle stops. Stoppage of menstruation is called menopause. Initially, the menstrual cycle may be irregular. Now, menopause and menarche are both opposite. Menarche is the beginning of the menstrual cycle when the girls have the ability of reproducing, and menopause is the age when the girls or the females reach the stoppage of the bleeding, that is the menstruation. So in the beginning and in the end, both when the menstruation starts, some of the females complain that their periods are not regular. So this happens because of the hormonal disbalance, and it takes some time for the body to adjust to it. Same thing happens at the menopause. At the menopause also there are hormonal changes. Due to the hormonal changes, sometimes the periods are irregular, so that is called the menopause. And then after that the body does not produce. The menstrual cycle is controlled by the hormones. If the hormones in the female are produced in the correct manner, then the menstrual cycle is regular. This cycle, why is it called a cycle? Because it repeats after some time. The cycle includes the maturation of the egg. The egg is formed, the egg is released, then it moves towards the uterus, where the lining of the uterus prepares itself for the pregnancy. If there is no fertilization, then the egg will be removed along with the lining of the inner wall of the uterus is removed, which is called the menstruation, and its breakdown of pregnancy does not occur. In case the egg is fertilized, it begins to divide and it embeds to the uterus, and we read that it forms the development of a child. But if there is nothing, no fertilization takes place, then this lining of the uterus is removed from the body, and it occurs in every female till the age of 45 to 50 years. After that this process stops. That means then the female is not able to reproduce. So reproduction starts from the age of 13 or 14 or 11 and continues till the age of 45 to 50.